Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. We appreciate your viewership. Let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. We're looking at a high today of 92 and a low of 74, but it's getting down in the low 70s. We've got a little cold snap coming, is what the meteorologists tell us, and that's going to be very pleasant. And not a lot. The rain has been unreal the last couple of weeks, but hopefully have a dry day or two, hopefully, and let things dry out. It's hard to mow the yard now. Our water temperature brought to us by Maranta Coffee Company, Area Paint Company. Looking at the end of the pier at 88.2, so it hasn't cooled off there. It is still warm. River readings brought to us by the good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. Look at the Apalachicola Bluntstown, 6.4. Going to have a little bump in it, and it's going to be pretty level though. Choctaw Caryville, 5.6, sort of going up a little bit with all the rain, but hopefully it'll start going on down next couple of days for the weekend. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. By the way, we got some good reports. A lot of you folks have been responding to a lot of our ads, and we appreciate that, and Kent Forest Lawn was one of them. We're looking at neap tides. Not much going on tidal flow. Our wind coming out of north at about 5 to 10. Be nice to have that north wind. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, we talk all the time about here in the Florida Panhandle and all the different things to do. Not just the hunting and fishing, which is primarily what a lot of folks do, but the camping, the hiking, the wildlife photography. We're constantly getting good photographs from different ones. And we've had Paul Winterman on the show before. He makes a living outdoor photography. And this picture here it's very unique. Take a look at this. A lot of times you see a deer jump the fence, but in this situation here, sort of with that leg, is that not a great picture right there? Winterman Wildlife Images in 2026. But the clarity and everything, we'll talk about Tess Jolly. She does a lot of stuff like this too with her turkeys and deer, but I just love outdoor photography. Good job, Paul Winterman. Paul's promised me he's going to come back on the show. All right, this is Wendy's. My outdoor ed students are mapping the decline of bay scallops around Florida, and then they were having to research why they are found in fewer areas. What do you think? So this is interesting. Well, this is really interesting, okay? I'm going to blow it up. The blue, see that blue line? That's where scallops used to be found, even on the Atlantic coast. And the only place you find them now is from Tampa, the red line, is where you find them now. Of course, it wraps on around. It should have come around to Cape San Blas to St. Joe Bay. They must have ran out of ink, but that's where you find them now, and not anywhere toward Choctaw or Pensacola. But if you look at this and stop and think about it, it's very easy to figure out. The density of people in South Florida and the runoffs and all of these bay systems have just about done the same way over there in Escambia Bay. Of course, that was Monsanto Chemical, but in Choctawhatchee Bay, Choctawhatchee never had very many, but they did have some at one time, I remember. But anyway, this is what's happening in Florida. I thought this is really good of Wendy to let her kids do the research and she was telling me some interesting answers they come up with. But we'll share more of what she's doing with outdoor class. Good job, Wendy. Paul Thrasher. Oh my, is this not, if you have a dog and if you got a flounder on the plate, look at the look on that dog. Is that not classic? Thanks, Paul. Paul Thrasher, outdoorsman. This is a good attitude. No matter what, yesterday was like, birds always start the new day with a song. Ain't that cool? Every day is a new day. This is the Moses High School Bassmasters. I just want to show a picture. They're getting ready to start. If you got a kid anywhere in that area, and look at all the meeting, the boys and girls there. They met at the media center. So check them out and get your school to get a little bass team going. It don't take much. Okay, this right here, this is just a quick 20 hook set. Okay, they just set out trot lines and This is so much fun on the Chattahoochee River, the Apalachicola River, to set out those hooks. And look at here. That's some good. That's just such. First of all, it's fun, but eating, they're so good to eat. To fry them up like that. Okay, good job, Chattahoochee. Jerry Shores. This is interesting. Jerry is an outdoorsman, former Florida Fish and Wildlife Officer. First fawn found of the season. Landowners and leaseholders. No more month is here. Please leave the fawns where they are. You're not rescuing them, you're only hurting. That is all. So this is his picture right here. You see how well hidden it is. And what goes on, we talk about it every year around this time, when what that doe will do, that doe will take that fawn out of there, that field where it's sort of protected and deep and sort of nothing, no predators around, and sort of sit them right there, and then the doe will wander off. This is all research, test proven, and wander off, get some food and eat and everything, and then come back to it. But if you come back to where she put it, and it's not there, then it's bad for both of them. A lot of people want to rescue and pick it up, but people are a lot more wise to it now. Just leave it set, and Mr. Shores just was so right on. Just leave it set, and at dawn will come back to it and lead it back before dark. Lead it. That's a great picture too. Okay. Talking of great pictures, everybody looking down at the ground now. This is Loretta Sowell. Y'all, please watch where you walking and be outside if your kids are outside. And I walked within inches of this pygmy rattlesnake just now in the yard. This is one, I talk about these every year. They're not very big, but they hide so well, and I've almost stepped on them just like that, and you just don't see them. And they have a very quick and very deadly bite. They have a lot of venom in them for their size. That's a pygmy rattler, and they're all over the place. They really are. I think they're more pygmies than anything. Speaking of, okay, this is a banded, people want to know, what is this? This is a banded water snake. It's not a water moccasin. You can just quickly look at the head and tell right here. Okay, but it's a banded water snake. Okay, all right. And okay, here's our scalloping crew getting warmed up for we're down at Hunts, and right on Cape San Blas. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. This is interesting right here. Let's go and take a break and come back and talk about this. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We just, I love looking at research, and it's really fascinating. And Gail says I overuse the word fascinating, but I just get fascinated at a lot of things. But looking at research, especially tagging the fish, back when we were talking about tagging triple tail, and Chris Gouris was, led the nation in tagging triple tail. I was just really carried away with that, and I wanted to go to Southern Miss and check with them, but I haven't made it yet. I still may do that. But this is on red snapper, and you don't get a lot of tag red snapper in this Florida Wildlife Research Institute. Okay, here it is right here. Rare recapture alert. On opening day of 2025 red snapper season, Captain Brian Lambert, we're going anyway, he landed a tagged redfish, a red snapper, first released 9 years ago by FWC biologists in the MERLAB, a collaboration between UF and Florida Wildlife. Okay, here's the facts. He was tagged April 26th. He was tagged at 14 inches. This red snapper had grown to a whopping 34 inches, matching our growth models from the stock assessment. Okay, he recaptured, number 2 green check, recaptured on a 9.5 miles from where it was released, even after 9 years and multiple hurricanes. Next one. This is a rare find. Out of 147,136 tagged redfish, only 10 have been reported after 9+ years. Is that not phenomenal? Okay, so anyway, it goes on down about how to do it. Okay, here's a picture of it. Let's see. Right here, let me blow it up. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. There it is right there. The tag right here, the dart tag, or to put it in with dart, covered in algae, barely visible along the fish's back. Can y'all see it? Just can't see it right there. Is that not phenomenal? To catch a tag redfish at 9 years old. Anyway, I hope you enjoy information like that. I just get here, I got more information on right here too. Okay, I'm gonna show you where it was caught. I got it right here. Okay, on the right side of the screen, you see, okay. It was tagged, okay, this is directly west of Tampa. So it was tagged, the top part right there, it was tagged up right there, and it captured 9 miles worth of tag. Is that not cool? And so here's the area. Okay, you see Tampa on the right, Tampa right there, and then the blue dot right there. I just thought that was really cool stuff. All right, let's move on to really cool stuff. We got some more scallops the other day, and it was just it's just amazing. It's just a lot of fun. I just enjoy that, and we just love doing it. And how about this? I've caught more piece out here than fish, and that's just fine by me. There's a lot to be said about that. I noticed you in the lower right-hand corner, you notice the transistor radio. They don't have those anymore, but now they have turtle boxes, which is just a takeoff of that. This is cool. Billy Archer. I enjoyed my crew yesterday. It's been 24 years in between trips. Lance is celebrating his 40th birthday. Anyway, 24 years ago, this group went with him, and he wanted his son to have the same experience he had 24 years ago. So Lance Lanier, his father Ray, there's the people right there. But anyway, here's a picture. 25 years ago, we went with you. I'm in the middle, and I was 15 years old. I'll be 40 tomorrow. Okay, this is a family. That went. Look at the size of those fish. Okay, and then the same group. 24 years later. Is that not cool? What's cool, you still have a captain that's still fishing strong. And then another thing's cool, you get your family and then friends who experience the same thing you did. And I looked at the water, top right-hand corner. Is that not a good, calm day? And you see how people are wrapping up now? It's just pretty common to wrap up like that. Okay, I got tickled on this one. I hope you can enjoy this as much as I do. This is Mr. Possum. Or maybe this is Miss Possum. This is Miss Possum right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, okay? Well, a lot of times the possum, basically this is about, we don't really have a appreciation of the possum and their lifestyle. We need to have a deep appreciation. I'm guilty of that myself. Okay, he said hey, I'm a possum, and it tells all the things I can do. I can eat up 2,000 ticks and all kinds of stuff. My blood. Anyway, here's the advantages. I started looking this up, and why the advantages of our possums in our area. It tells the size of it. Of course, you know the claws are really sharp, and that allows them to climb trees and all. But their hearing is very good, and their eyesight is real good. Okay, so here it is. They're natural pest controllers. They'll eat ticks and fleas. They'll eat mosquitoes. They eat all kinds of stuff. Okay, that's one. Okay, another thing, they're very good. Their resilience against venom, and they've really studied their protein, a special protein in the blood. It neutralizes the bite, so they try to do this in antivenom. I didn't know this until I started reading up. And they'll also eat snakes. Okay, about another advantage of a possum, the medical research. What I just said, that for venom. Anti-venom development. That's what I was just talking about. They've learned this from possums, looking at their blood. Is that not cool? And just they're part of the food web. They get sometimes eaten by hawks too. And here's the biggest thing: threats to possums on the bottom. How about that first red dot? Habitat destruction. Hello. We're not talking about that so much. As human settlements expand, possums lose their natural habitats. Hello, Florida. And it's just a threat. Okay, so here's the conclusion. They might not get attention they deserve, but their contribution to nature is invaluable. But there you go. So you know all you want to know about possums right there. Okay, sometimes looking for the bait can be just as fun as catching a fish. Now this is such a true story. Have you ever had a kid just jump out a jar or a can of worms and then pick them up like that? You need to Go buy some, let a kid do that. Michael Harris, Seasons of Hope. This tournament is not too far off now, September the 13th. And they've raised, let's blow it up right here, they've raised $16,000 last year. And I just admire them for doing this so much. Michael Harris and Braden Harris, and he's got a good support staff. Folks are always helping out. We'll be right there at Sunjammers on Beck Avenue, and we certainly have it on my calendar. I'm certainly going to try to be there for weigh-in. And you see the sponsors at the bottom. We'll do all we can to promote this. This is just one of these situations. It's a win-win for everyone. I know a nucleus of the same people fish it every year, and I have a deep appreciation of those people fishing it. So that's good stuff. Let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at 154 to 354 this morning, and 215 to 415 this afternoon after lunch. Let's add a couple of names just sent in from Parker, David Barris, and Gloria Barris. We'll add your name right here and put you in a pickle jar. All right. And speaking of Blue Water, they, again, one of our loyal sponsors has been with us since day one when we started the show, and their business just booms, especially this time of year. I walk in there, I'm just fascinated looking around. I know y'all are too, but they do have scallop knives. Scallop knives, they're a specialty. Make sure you don't get an oyster knife, get a scallop knife. An oyster knife is too sharp, and you can really, it'll slip, even with many thousands and thousands I've done. It'll slip them down there, and you'll stab your hand. And I use a glove. Back in the day, I didn't need a glove, but I use a glove now. So use a glove. And also, while y'all scalloping, use the glove if you're going through the grass. And again, the scallop reports are just phenomenal, and it continues. So let me tell you a quick story of what we did the other day, where it was just three of us on one boat. It was Carl and Darrell and Andrews and myself, and a couple of them gone back, left Presnell's and gone back home. So it was just three of us went out. Actually, it was last Friday morning. And we made one stop on one hole, and it was just, they're all over. But they're deep now. But when we got back and we knew we had our limit was 6 gallons. When we got back, when we all dumped out, we had about a gallon over the limit. So what we decided to do, going back toward Presnell's, we just took one at a time and threw them off the side and planted them. I thought that was a good idea to plant them. Carl was cruising pretty slow. About every 10 yards, we'd throw one out all the way back. And that way, we saved some seed for next year. So I want to encourage, some of y'all are doing the same thing. Y'all are throwing a lot back, and that's really good. But it's encouraging. Again, it's a phenomenal, and I won't say much more about it. Let's move on. They're talking about good things and all doing good things. This is out here at the jetties. Aaron Shepard, Brack, and this is a group of divers, and they wasn't taking pictures about amazing sea creatures. What they did a cleanup. These divers did. Look at there in the center. Over 100 pounds of fishing line, weight, lures, and other trash removed from the past by this crew. And we were thanked by a little turtle and an eagle ray flew by. Okay, so here, anyway, look at this collection that group brought. Look at this trash here. This is at the jetties at San Andrew State Park. And here's a close-up of it. I was looking at it. Of course, you see the cans, it just, and about a red Solo cup, and that could have blown out of a boat. But most of that stuff is thrown in. There's an anchor chain right there, a rope, a lot of netting, just all kind of stuff. And really, you can't help sometimes from getting hung, and we've all got hung up on it. So I appreciate this group. Let's see, here they are here. I love those fins. See how big the fins are now, the evolution of swimming fins. They used to near not be this big, but they're big fins now. That's more propulsion. And here they're lifting, they're weighting here. They put all that little stuff in there. Good job, y'all. Okay. Would you send that to Winston? This is Chris Flynn had a 7-pounder in the Sand Hills Friday. This is from Ronnie LeMaster. Bill Adams sent it to me. Let's blow it up here. Now, is that not a classic picture? First of all, these sandhill ponds, we talk about them all the time. We just love them. For bass that size to come out of there, That's just great. But look at the picture itself, the background, the little reflection of the sun, that big old smile on his face. Good job. Great picture. Thank you, Ronald Master, for sending that to me. Okay. My buddies, my friends, down at Howard Creek, if you're not going to come to the Season of Hope on September the 19th, how about going to the community yard sale? Now, you won't believe the stuff they have down there. So I'm always a big promoter of anything going on at Howard Creek. Now, I promise you there'll be some fishing stuff. Fishing stuff. Now, I use that word loosely. Jesse Elmore, Caitlin Elmore, you can find them. I love the bottom centers down there. Couples who fish together stay together. One of former students, and Caitlin, she is a fine fishing girl. Nikkei, her granddad is Buster Nikkei. Y'all know the family. This girl can fish. So Jesse has the work cut out for him. Just keep up with her. Good job, Caitlin. We're going to smile. You got that smile forever. Good picture. I love this. This is Brad Richardson. Let me tell you about Brad. He works for the let's see, the environmental group over in Tallahassee. Graduated, had a good degree, went to work in Tallahassee and Florida Department of Environmental Protection. He'd been with them a good while. His dad was a science teacher, Bill Richardson, at Mosley for a long time. And his granddad was a doctor in Graceville, okay? But anyway, I like this picture. He went camping down at Cape San Blas, and what's cool, I mean, it's not unusual, but here's the sunset. That's a normal picture of sunsets we're just taking for granted. But here he is coming down from Tallahassee. But here's what impressed me. Got a nice truck, but what impressed me, how about a tent at the St. Joe Peninsula State Park campground? And this is good because it shows you the campground. It's sort of modernized. After Hurricane Michael, they modernized it, which means it's cut all the trees, but the amenities on the electricity and the water and the gravel, well, you know, I like the dirt and all, but anyway, what I love, people can still, here this guy is, you know, smart guy, got a great job, and coming down to Tallahassee, and he's camping in a tent. I love it. Now, that just makes me want to go back and start doing that again, because this is what, I wish I had some pictures of our original camping days at that same state park. But there's the trees and everything and shade and all, but now it's different. So good job, Brad Richardson. I'm proud of you for camping in a tent. So if y'all have any tent pictures, it's still cool. All right, I got to wrap it up. Got all kinds of stuff coming up the rest of this week. And y'all take care of yourself. Do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day. Let's enjoy the outdoors. And for goodness sake, let's take care of it. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.